Hi everyone, how's your Saturday going? This is Alyx Stewart and we are going to be making, my phone is just giving me a lesson on how to run a live. Just let me get rid of that. It's the first time, brand new phones, first time I've done it. There we go, back. Let's start again. Hello everyone, how's your Saturday morning and welcome to Casual Saturday Lunch. So, weather update, because I always do a weather update here in Melbourne. Overcast, a little bit rainy, nothing to write home about. Wasn't actually sure whether I was going to make this live today because our little cat Tam is very sick. And I'm just going to do a huge shout out to the cat clinic in Paran here in Melbourne. Cat Clinic's our usual vet, and we often see Richard and Amy, Catherine and Izzy there, and all the vet nurses there as well. But Tam's in a lot of pain today after we saw them earlier in the week with this problem, and the whole team's been on his case today. And after this, I'm going to scoop my boot in there, get him some more pain meds. So I'm really, really grateful for their help this morning because I was in, typical mum, bit of a panic, so I wasn't sure whether I'd make this. So anyway, that's what's going on in my world. So it's been a bit upsetting this morning, so I won't go on because I'll be in tears. Now let's sort out some of these side effects that are bothering you eating. So today, as I said, lentil and beetroot burgers. Like last week, we did a bit on metallic taste with the little mushroom parmesanas. So this is another version for metallic taste. Also great for loss of taste, bland taste, people who've lost their sense of smell, so their taste is dull. And this can happen with people with COVID as well. It's called anosmia. And this is where we need to build in some big flavours into food. We need to build in some different textures and layer in lots of different things. These burgers, surprisingly enough, you'll also manage if you have a dry mouth and throat, because there's some things we're going to be doing later down the track that will suit that as well. So let's get on with it. Now, I have done a bit of prep beforehand, surprisingly, so I'm not going to keep you here too long. You can see the all black, and the all black means tomatoes or beetroot. So I'm also going to have some little glovies on today because I hate being stained by beetroot. So what I have here is, I'm going to be doing this in a, that's the other thing. This is also great for lack of energy, particularly if you have a food processor or access to a food processor or some sort of blender. If you don't, I have a couple of hacks for you. We're going to change the ingredients or the way that we're doing them, and that will also suit you so you don't have to spend a lot of time chopping, slicing and dicing. It's really cool tricks for this one. So first one up is, so I've got a big-ish fresh beetroot here, and I'm just going to pop that, it's cut into about eighths, pop that into the whizzer here. We know I like to call it the whizzer. Pop that over there. And I also have one small red onion and a clove of garlic. Now, really important here for people who are experiencing what's called parosmia, which is something that can happen after COVID or slightly, you think you're recovering and your smell's recovering and bang, hit with parosmia. And that's where the normal tastes and smells just aren't normal anymore. And a lot of things that smelled quite normal before actually smell and taste quite disgusting. Some people have very limited food items they can eat. They're in dire straits. Two of the things that are real no-nos for parosmia are garlic and onion. So if you have parosmia and you want to try these, leave that out. They will go into the blender there too. Now for this bit, if you didn't have access to a blender, look, just leave out the onion, or if you can chop it fine, chop it fine. The little hack is to use these little packets of pre-cooked beetroot. These are really cool. You can get, this is a 250 gram one, you can get in 500 grams. So, somewhere between the two, just chuck it in the blender and see what you get in the mixture. But these, not in the blender. What you would do with these is actually just mash them with a fork. So you can quickly chop them, and these mash up really easily with a fork or with a potato masher because they're nice and soft already because they're pre-cooked. So that's a quick hack for lack of energy if you don't have access to a food processor. Pop that over there. Actually, we'll put it underneath because I have a handy shelf. Now, I'm just going to whiz this bit up first of all. I'm not going to really make it too small because we want some texture in these. Now, my apologies, this is the world's noisiest blender. It's really powerful, so love it, but is the world's noisiest. So I'm actually, before I do this, I'm going to unplug my microphone because you won't thank me. So I'm just going to quickly whiz this up. And let me show you what I'm doing here. There's said blender. Okay, let's just, now I'm just going off air for a second. Right, that's pretty much all I want to do with that. So as you can see, let me show you. It's not a puree, it's not even really, really small. It's just chopped up nicely. It's gorgeous colour. Okay, now let me just move some of all of this over here so I can get this back. There we go. Okay, see my koala then. Now into this mix, because we want some huge flavours into here. Sorry, a bit crooked. Huge flavours in here. So I am going to add some spices. I've got some roasted curry powder. I've got some turmeric. I've got some smoked paprika, and I have a bit of cinnamon. Weird, you might ask, but it works really well. There we go. That into there. I'm also going to put in at this stage 400 grams of lentils. This is just a can of lentils. I haven't bothered, doing raw lentils, cooking them, draining them. These are just drained and rinsed. Yeah. So I don't do that very well, to demonstrate. I'm also, now this is where you can add in some great umami flavours. So umami is when your taste buds are dull. It's our fifth sense, if you like. So there's sweet, sour, salty, bitter umami. So things like these tamari almonds are great in here. They've got tamari, which is sort of like a soy. They're also a good fat, and they will provide a bit of a different texture in the burgers as well. They're in there. What have I missed? Sun-dried tomatoes, another huge umami ingredient. You can have these on top of the burgers if you didn't want to put them in, but I'm just going to put them in. Now that's dripping everywhere. Let's pop that over there. Do a squeeze of ginger as well. That's about all that's left in that one. And what else? Oh, okay. Now, I can't really tell at this stage whether the mixture is going to be sort of like quite wet or quite dry, but we'll find out. But just in case it's a bit wet, I've got here just some rolled oats, and they'll blend up nicely in there and still give a bit of texture and mop up some of the moisture. If it's still too wet after that, I'm going to use some ground flaxseed or some ground chia seed. So I'm just going to pop a little bit of oats into there. I'm plugged in again, aren't you? Yeah, okay. You can hear me? Okay, good. Let's do this again. And again, I will just unplug myself while this is going on because it's horrendous. Right, let's just see what we've got. That's looking probably a little bit dry at this stage. Just bring that up again. There we go. So I'm going to add a bit of water. Oh, hang on, let me feel it first. Oh, actually, no, it's not too dry. Good job, I felt that. I'm actually going to put in a bit of flaxseed because this will help bind it. Now, after you've finished doing this and you make up your little patties, you can put them in the fridge to rest for about 10 minutes because that will bind these quite nicely together. Or look, I'm not a patient person, you don't have to be with these, just pop them straight into the fry pan. So let me do this again, or I might leave this on, sorry about this. Almost there. Give that another look. Okay. Yep, I reckon, how Australian is that? I reckon, well, I'm Australian. That might do it. Let's have this off. We'll just pop that out of the way. Ooh, oh no. Beetroot on the thing. So I might just take that out of, oh dear me. There's going to be plenty going in the washing machine. Okay, now, you can tell I'm just not rapt about doing this. Let's get, oh, or no, we'll do it here. Okay, so just take a bit of mixture. There we go. Depends on what size patties you want. This will make, you know, a good 6, maybe 8, depending on what size you want. We want a fairly decent size. Now, like a good tennis ball. Oh, what if you do wear gloves? There we go. So just popping that together. Now that I've squished it into a ball, I'm just going to gently make it into a patty shape by popping my thumb in the middle there and still holding it round. There we are. Okay, we know I don't do symmetrical stuff. There we go. That is one patty there. Let's just do another one and then we can pop them on and then construct them. So these are nice and moist as they are. If you want these more moist, you can put in things into this mixture here. You could put in avocado and that would give that a nice sort of silkiness and creaminess inside as well. Let's just do one more of these. Told my husband we're having these for lunch, so we're having these for lunch. Why not? They'll be made. Okay, there we go. There's another one coming. I'm pretty pleased with how these have come up. And you can see in here, in both of these, there's still a bit of texture in there. And we're going to talk a bit more about, you can add more texture when you're actually building the burger later. So let's have that up there. Now I'm going to take these gloves off because I've honestly made a horrendous mess on the thing here, which is I'm just going to chuff some of that off. Okey-doke. Now, what I need is to get rid of that. Let's have a little, oh, can you see that there? I think I'm in the right. Let's move some of these things in the right place. Oh yeah, there we are. Feels nice to see what we're doing. Let's have this on. And now, while this is heating up, I'll just chat to you about some things you can put on top and underneath. So I have some nice brioche buns because these are really super duper soft. You can leave them as is, as super duper soft buns, or you can toast them depending on what sort of texture you need. So either or is good. I like soft and squishy, doesn't hurt my mouth. Pop them back over there. I'm just going to bring it up a bit. Right, now this is warming up nicely. You don't want this on too hot because the ingredients in here were raw. You actually want them cooked. So, you know, like a medium low heat, because you want to do these about 3 to 5 minutes each side. So let's pop these in here. Oh, we have a sizzle already. Now to go on top of my burgers, I've got a nice looking avocado here, beautiful. That there. So just on your buns there, you can mash up some avocado, put that on as a layer. If you don't want to do that, and I get it because there are other ways to skin a cat, what I've got here is just some sweet potato and cashew spread. That one, use that, makes it nice and moist as well. I've got this is a jalapeno dip, or they're dip spreads, whatever you want to call them, dips and spreads, but this is great because it's going to add a bit of heat in there, and my tongue's going to thank me for that, because if I can't taste very much, I need to give my mouth and my brain other signals that there's something yummy in my mouth. And by adding in some heat of chili or jalapenos, that's one way of doing it. Adding in coolness of things like mint and eucalyptus, that will do it as well, to the opposite. Turn those down, can't they? There we go. Can also, now for crunch in there, I said about the buns, you can dose those to add buns. You can sprinkle on some more of those tamari almonds. You can add things like the red or purple cabbage here. I've also got some thinly sliced, or I think it's thinly sliced for my thinly sliced, fresh pineapple. And that's something else that will really get the taste buds going and will help with saliva too. Pineapple sort of sets off the production of saliva. So if you have a dry mouth and throat, the pineapple will help with that too. What else have I got? Oh, I've got some onion jam here. This is the one that was from the Heathcote Winery. It's really yummy. Used it last week. And I've got some halloumi as well. So I might just pop these into here too. I might make some halloumi fries to go with this. Okay, so let's just see how these are doing. So I'm going to do this a bit quicker than I normally would. Let's have these over. Oh, done with the oil. Hopefully you can see. Ooh, oh yeah, you can see what's going on in there. I have this up just a little bit more. Have this over here. That's better. Oh, see how they're browning nicely on the outside. Now they are quite soft, but I say if you were doing these not in a hurry, like I am at the minute, you'll pop them in the fridge for 10 minutes and that will give them a chance to all firm up. There we go, there's quite a decent sized burger these. So I think this mixture would actually make about 8. Beautiful thing about this is if you're thinking, well, I only need 1 or 2 for our lunch or 4 or 5, these will freeze. Easily done. Just make up your burgers as is, pop them in individual freezer bags, pop them in the freezer, you're good to go. And it's really nice to have something that's handy and ready to go. Now let's just have some of this avo. We'll make this up as a go. Make a lot of things up as a go, as you know. Now all those spices that I put in before, if you don't have a big spice collection, and I've got a reasonable spice collection, it has to be said, quick and easy one to do for that is to just use something like these mingle spices. So they have lovely spice flavour mixes, no nasties in them. I get mine from Woolies. They've got the whole range and selection there. So just sprinkle that in instead of the other spices that I put in there. Now I didn't bring tongs out with me because, as a lot of you know, I cook in my garage. This is my garage, by the way. And, you know, I've got neighbours around and it's a Saturday and they like to mow their lawns and do all sorts of other things on a Saturday, but it doesn't bother me. There we go, turn those over there. Right, now just do a quick mash up of this avocado here. And we're nearly there. Oh, hardly mashing it, sliding all around the bowl. Great. You could use guacamole instead of mashing up the avocado. Really, the toppings are anything that you would like. As I said, if you've downloaded the recipe already, it's already on our website and I've got the links in all the channels. The list of ingredients for this looks horrendously long, but you don't have to use them all. Is the best thing. It's really a make it up as you go type of recipe. Oh, that one's going to fall apart. No, he's not. No, he's not. Okay, so I've got some big fat burgers there. If you wanted to use egg to hold it all together, you can use an egg as well. Don't have to use oats, don't have to use flaxseed or chia seed, you can use an egg. Or you can use a flax egg, which is kind of what I did here. Turn that over. Right, let's have that off. See if I can build something here. Where's my plate? Right. God, it's like I just don't have, I've got oodles of real estate here, and when it comes to doing this, it's just like I don't have enough room. Let's move that out of the way, that down there. Right, where's a bun? One brioche bun. I'm going to actually put a bit of this jalapeno on first. Just spread that on as quick as you like. It's always quick here. That one there. I'm going to put on some avi. This is where you get your moisture into these burgers as well, if you have that dry mouth and throat. there. And I'm going to pop, hope I'm going to pop it in one piece, onto here. And on top of that, I just keep needing this piece of paper here, I'm going to put, because I know people around the world don't get this whole pineapple on burgers thing. It's an Australian thing. You don't know what you're missing out on, is all I can say, because it's great. On top of that, I'm going to pop some of this lovely sweet potato and cashew dip. Not exactly sure how this is going to fit in the mouth so I can eat it, but you know, that's beside the point, as long as it looks good. And put a couple of slices of halloumi. I thought I'd just use everything because I've cooked it. And a little bit of crunch. And a lid on top. Get those stragglers out of the way. Okay, this is lentil and beetroot burger with all the trimmings. Great for a huge amount of side effects, chemo side effects, radiation side effects, and COVID side effects as well. So there you go. I hope you make that. Let me know. Please tag me in any photos that you post, because I will repost them with glee. I'd absolutely love to see them. But as I said earlier on, I am done for this morning. I've got to go and scoot my boot to the cat's vet and go and pick up his medication because he hasn't been well. But I have a feeling my husband might tuck into that while I'm away. Hope you enjoy that, and as I say, send me photos if you make it, and I will see you again, if not next Saturday, in between times. Bye for now.